Hi guys, I am sure many of you are aware that the UK has a travel list whereby they categorize countries that are in red, amber or green zones, and this affects sort of like whether they're allowed into the country and the protocol of what they have to adhere by once they're planning to travel to the UK. But did you know that Nigeria actually has the same list? Yes, Nigeria has categorized various countries into red, amber, or green, depending on which of this list the country you're traveling from belongs to, affects the protocols that you have to adhere by when traveling to Nigeria. Yes, it affects how many COVID tests you have to do upon arrival, whether you self-isolate at home or you have to quarantine in a government facility, and of course, how much money you have to part away with when you register on the Nigeria International Travel Portal. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you everything you need to know about these lists, the various protocols that you have to adhere by based on whether you're red, amber, or green. Please make sure you share this video in your WhatsApp groups so as to just educate more Nigerians so that they're aware of sort of the cost and the protocols involved for their next trip to Nigeria. And also so that they're informed of these new changes. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time, welcome. My name is Sassy Funke and I'm a Nigerian author, travel and lifestyle content creator. I'm really creating to help the average Nigerian traveler just navigate travel better during these times of uncertainty with the COVID-19 pandemic. I really hope my videos are useful to you. If this is something that you're very interested in, make sure to hit that huge subscribe button down below. Yes, I'm trying to get to 50,000 subscribers and you can make it happen. So hit that subscribe button and give this video a huge thumbs up. So let's get straight into this video. Around May 13, 2021, Lagos State shared a new categorization for countries coming to Nigeria: red, amber, or green. This information, to my knowledge, is actually not available on the official NCDC website or the travel portal, the nitp.gov.ng website. It's not available on that site to my knowledge. And hence the reason why I haven't actually come out publicly before to share this information. But I've been able to confirm with sources, right, that this information is correct, and also been able to confirm with, I guess, the portal, the payment portal, when it tells you to pay, a huge amount of money. I guess that's like the best clarification of whether or not the protocols have changed, if the portal is asking you to pay for 2 tests versus 1 test, right? But what's been great is that BBC also shared, yes, on their website around May, of this new protocols, this new categorization. And I'm going to first go through that article with you guys so that you're sort of aware of where everything's coming from. I'll also leave the link to this article in the description box, so feel free to check it as a reference whenever you like. All right, so I'm going to look for this article right now, pull this article up, and it's actually on the BBC Pidgin website. It says, this is on the 13th of May 2021, COVID-19 travel, India Day Red, Ghana, US Day Amber on Lagos alert list for passengers. It says, Lagos State don't come out alert list for countries based on the COVID-19, how COVID-19 they worry and waiting passengers needs to sabi. Basically, the Lagos State has come out with a list for countries based on how COVID-19 has been affecting them and what passengers need to know, right? It then goes on to say, the alert list where Nigerians' biggest commercial city authorities released did 3 types. So there's 3 types: red, amber, green. Don't make fun of my pidgin, guys. It's not that bad, eh? It said India will be the world second most populous. They on the red list because them get coronavirus variants we start from the country, right? So it's saying that India is on the red alert list. It then goes on to say that amber color now for countries where the variant enter from another place, and Ghana Day. So it's saying amber is for countries that the variant entered from another place, while green day reserved for other countries, while the green list is for other countries, right? It shares that the Lagos State Commissioner of Health, Professor Akin Abayomi, actually released this information in a press conference on the 12th of May. Right? And yeah, so I won't, what's it called? I won't stress you with the other parts. But basically, all in all, Lagos has put 16 countries inside the red and amber list. And I want to caveat this to say that I'm going to give you the categorizations of what the lists, who was on the particular list on the 13th of May. But bear in mind, from sources that I know, that this list is actually going to change, right? It's subject to change as conditions in those countries change, right? So some of these information may not be valid right now. I think maybe the UK has moved to amber, but basically things have changed. So things can change. And the way to know that if they've changed is if you go on the NITP portal and try and register, it will give you the information of the protocols you have to follow. And based on that, you will know that whether it's still on the same alert list or not. So here it says that red alert list, India, Turkey, and Brazil are red, which is, I believe, still the same as at today. Amber lists, alert lists, it says Canada, US, France, Germany, Netherlands, Togo, Ghana, Cameroon, Angola, South Africa, Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, and Rwanda. It then goes on to say that the green alert list is all other countries, right? So I'm going to talk through now what the specific protocols are for each sort of like alert list, like the red, amber, or green, right? So the information provided by the Lagos State government on the BBC website says for the red countries, right? Those are the Brazil, India, and Turkey. So basically those countries that people are traveling directly from. I remember in my last video, I shared that if you don't originate from these countries, this does not apply to you. It applies for those that are originating, meaning your first port of the portal is India, Brazil, or Turkey. It says PCR test. You need to do your PCR tests for the red countries 72 hours before departure, right? So within 72 hours, 3 days before your flight, you need to take your PCR test. Second point, before departure, you need to pay for day 2 and 7 PCR tests post-arrival in Nigeria, right? So many people actually are not aware of this, that you actually, for these red countries, you need to actually pay for 2 and 7. I mentioned that in my previous video too, where I shared about the 500K pricing that somebody was charged. It then finally says that you need to pay for the 14-day isolation in a government-approved facility. But key here, it also mentions that they will refund you for 7 days. If on the 7th day of the 14-day quarantine, you come out negative, because you will then be released to go home, they'll refund you for the remaining 7 days, right? So this is really key to bear in mind that even in my past video where I shared about the 500K, if you test negative on day 7, you will get some of that 500K back in your account, right? So key to note that. Second, let's talk about the amber countries, right? Also, for the amber countries, you have to do a PCR test 72 hours before departure. So it's standard 3 days before your departure. Before departure, it then says you have to pay for day 2 and 7 of PCR tests post-arrival in Nigeria. So you have to pay for 2 COVID tests. Someone actually DM'd or sent a message to travel to Niger saying that, oh, how come my friend was getting charged around 90,000 naira for COVID tests? It didn't make sense. That things like what's happening. It's because they're probably traveling from an amber country, and for amber countries, you need to actually do 2 tests now. Pay test on day 2 and test on day 7. You have to pay for those tests pre-flight, right? So that's why the price is a bit higher. It then says that you have to do a mandatory isolation at home, right? So it means that you're going to have to stay at home for 7 days, similarly to what the process was before. And finally, it mentions that there's going to be monitoring by logistics, surveillance, and eco-temeled. So I guess they're going to be monitoring you, right? So, and finally, let's talk a little bit about the green countries, right? For the green countries, similarly again, you have to do a PCR test 72 hours before departure. You need to before departure, pay for day 7 PCR test only. So yes, you only have to pay for one test if you're coming from a green country, for one test. And it says day 5 test is optional, but day 7 test is mandatory. So one test. It says if negative on day 5, exit isolation. I guess they're trying to copy the UK here, whereby they're giving you an option for early release of, test release, I guess, like the UK, whereby if you want to get out of isolation early, you can do a day 5 test. But this is actually interesting because you're going to be isolating at home. So yeah. Yeah, so it says if you're negative on day 5, you can exit isolation. Finally, it says if not, mandatory isolation at home for 7 days. So basically, if you are positive on day 5, you now have to do mandatory isolation again for another 7 days in your home post day 5. I really hope that makes sense. Yeah. Like if it doesn't, like leave a comment in the comments section below and I'll be sure to sort of like respond to you guys. Right. Looking back at the article that was shared, it says here that Professor Abayomi gave a warning that anybody that breaks the COVID-19 quarantine rules would get a fine of 300,000 naira and may even collect a 1-year prison sentence to join. Yes, that's pretty much it there. Yes, guys, so yes, that is the new sort of like COVID-19 travel update for people traveling to Nigeria. Like it's becoming an expensive affair, but also, I think the disease center, the National Center for Disease Control, probably have better information in terms of how to protect our borders and what they have to do with regard to processes to keep us safe, right? So maybe, this is for our own good, right? Because as always, we all know that we don't have maybe the strongest health facility compared to other countries, so we cannot afford to have like an outbreak again, right? So do your best to adhere by the rules, and if you can't afford to travel, perhaps delay travel until when you can, just to protect everybody else, you know what I mean? So I really hope the video has been useful. If it has been super useful, like give this video a huge thumbs up. If you made it here, say Sassy, you made it in the comment section. I would love to see all your comments below. Thank you once again for watching and supporting my channel, and I will see you on my next video. Bye.